Hi, my name is Sean Smotherman, and I'm going to inform you about why it is so difficult to keep a green yard through the summer in our region. For one, all the grasses that we look at around our area and say that is a really beautiful lawn are generally not native to our area. These are all grasses that have been transplanted from other parts of the country or internationally. They are normally either fescues or creeping grasses such as Bermuda, zoysia, centipede, etc. There's positives and negatives to both of these types of grasses. If you want a green yard year-round, fescue's the way to go. If you don't mind a brown yard during the wintertime, given it's consistent, I personally don't have a problem with it, then there's nothing against having a creeping grass such as your Bermuda, zoysia, etc. So really when you're deciding which type of grass to plant in your yard, there's several factors you should weigh out. One, how much money do you plan on putting into this yard on an annual basis? How much fertilizer do you want to buy? Pesticides? Water are you going to use? What does your budget allow? Number two, how much time do you have to maintenance this yard? How much time are you going to actually have to be able to cut the grass, fertilize, water, etc.? Number three, what exactly are you looking for in the appearance of it? Do you want a real tight golf course like grass that you can go out there and run and play ball on? Or do you want a grass that just is pretty to look at and is tall and lush and thick, but generally you're going to keep everybody off of it? Another factor would be, what is the environment that you're planting this grass in? Is it full sun? Is it part sun? Is it full shade? Is there lots of trees around? Trees generally tend to drop a lot of acid, and trees and grass are worst enemies, so you got to be careful that you don't kill one in promoting the other. Another factor is your soil. If you have sandy soil, you're going to have a better chance of keeping your creeping grasses alive versus fescues, who require more of a spongy, loamy clay soil that will actually retain water around the root system. So let's look at the pluses and minuses of these two types of grass. First, fescue. Fescue is really pretty. It's tall, it's green, and it's year-round. It actually thrives through the winter, generally speaking, unless we have a really harsh winter. The other plus to it is you don't have to mow it extremely frequently. You can mow it once every 1 to 2 weeks. It has normally you cut the blade about 3 to 4 inches tall. You never want to cut more than a third of the blade off. So that gives you an inch, inch and a half of growing room before you have to cut. If you think about your short creeping grasses, the blade is generally only 3/4 to an inch tall. And so if you can only allow a third of the blade to grow taller, then you're looking at maybe a ½ inch at the most of growth before you need to cut it. So you're talking about 1 to 2 times a week. So fescue does have a positive side there. The downsides to fescue are it becomes weak through the summer. If you don't maintenance, you're going to lose it. So June, July, August, we have the heat sets in, the rain slacks off. Fescue generally goes brown, goes dormant as soon as the first heat wave hits, unless you have irrigation or you're artificially watering it. The other time absorbing part of growing fescue is you have to fertilize, lime, you have pesticides you got to get out to keep the weeds out, because it does not have a self-defense against weeds. So there's pluses and minuses. Okay, the pluses and minuses to your creeping grasses, Bermuda, zoysia, centipede, etc., are that it is thriving in the middle of summer. You aren't having to do anything to it. You don't have to worry about the rain. It seems like the hotter it gets, the greener it is. It's self-healing. It has its own built-in weed defense system, it pushes weeds out. If it feels an area gets weak, it has rhizomes and it creeps and fills that spot in. The downsides of it are you have to normally mow it once to twice a week, like I mentioned earlier. It has like I said, it has a high resistance to heat, so it requires very little water. So falling back in here, you have pluses and minuses to fescue and your warm season grasses. You just have to debate which one is going to fit your schedule, your budget, and your time the best.